Good evening, everyone. This is your evening news recap, your nightly news podcast on all the news that I come across throughout the day, giving you my take as somebody who aspires to be a politician in the near future. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. Hopefully, all you guys are doing well. Today is August 30th, and it is Saturday, right? Yep, I know what day it is. It's Saturday. Hopefully, all you guys are doing wonderful. It's been, a bit of a slow day in the news world as the weekends tend to go, so this will probably be a shorter video, but hey, it happens. Anyways, hopefully, you guys are doing well here. If you're new here, please subscribe. We're on our way to 500 subscribers, and I would really appreciate all the support as we're getting really close to 300, so maybe we'll hit 300 pretty shortly. That would be really cool. Anyways, with that being said, let's move into the news from today. Moving into the Trump administration segment, the first thing we have to talk about is Trump is fine. Essentially, last night, a bunch of rumors started to circle on Twitter that Trump was dead after he hadn't been seen in any pictures or media for 3 days. Turns out, unshockingly, once again, he had been golfing. Remember when Trump said Obama golfed too much? Once again, the hypocrisy is crazy, but we all know that. All we need is a year and a half out of the man. I really hope we get that at least. I do not want to see JD Vance in office anytime soon, but if it has to happen, at least wait till midterms, man. Please, if you're gonna hold out, wait till midterms. Anyways, in some other news, Trump sent out a fundraising email titled that he wants to get into heaven. Trump has sent out an interesting fundraising email with the subject, I want to try to get into heaven. The email says, last year I came millimeters from death when that bullet pierced through my skin. My triumphant return to the White House was never supposed to happen. He continues, I believe that God saved me for one reason, to make America great again. Then he continued on the propaganda thing. He says that the country needed him and, the people were always right by his side, always that kind of stuff. And then he asks for money at the end, like he would. Let's be real. I'm gonna be real. Let's not be real. I don't get emails from politicians. I don't want to bother to fill my inbox with all of the junk emails that I'm going to get when all they're asking me is for money. I could care less. I'm not going to give them my money anyways. But these emails from Trump are so propaganda filled. I see screenshots every once in a while, and it's crazy. But they make it feel like very personal. Like they make it feel like you are receiving that email yourself, not like a bunch of people are receiving it. They even address the people by name, and I'm sure most other politicians do that as well. But these letters are very well written. The psychology behind Trump's advertisement, asking for money kind of things, his letters or emails or whatever are, very, very, it's very convincing. It is. If I were uneducated and lacked the ability to come up with a thought, I would fall for it too. So I understand why many people think that, Trump is standing with them, and, he would never do anything to harm them. Unfortunately, that is not the case for you guys, and you're just too stupid to realize it. But hey, whatever. Anyways, moving on to the another topic. Trump has lashed out at White House contractors. Trump is pissed at the White House subcontractors for cracking White House stone. As always, he took to Truth Social saying, I used at the White House the most beautiful marble and stone available everywhere. Surfaces are very important to me as a builder. As everyone knows, I built many great buildings and other things over the years. At the White House, I am very proud of the beautiful stonework we did in the Rose Garden, in this case using limestone plus. The Rose Garden is completed and far more beautiful than anyone ever had in mind when it was conceived of decades ago. 3 days ago, while admiring the stonework, I happened to notice a huge gash in the limestone that extended more than 25 yards long. It was deep and nasty. I started yelling, who did this? I want to find out now. And I didn't say this in a nice manner. I wondered, was it vandalism or was it stupidity? Lo and behold, it was because of the fact that we installed the finest security equipment anywhere that they brought back the stupid people with their boss watching in sunglasses. It was the subcontractor that was installing the heavy landscape on a steel cart that was broken and tilting badly when it was rubbing against the soft, beautiful stone. I love and respect the great workers and contractors, but something like this should never happen. Now I will replace the stone, charge the contractor, and never let that contractor work at the White House again. But how great is the video equipment? We caught them cold. Make America great again. He would also post a video of the incident happening. Knowing Trump and his record with paying people, he probably wouldn't have paid them anyways. I don't blame them. I've worked a fair bit of construction in my life. I've helped rebuild and refurbish a bunch of houses. And if I was working for Donald Trump, I would give even less of a fuck. I'm going to be completely honest. That man's add-ons in general are so tacky. Whether it be the fake gold plating, whether it be the White House ballroom or this rose garden, all of them are so bad. I honestly hope his ballroom looks like complete and utter garbage so the next president can demolish it. Because not only do I think it's a waste, but it's unnecessary. Really screams, let them eat cake. Anyways, moving on into our other news segments today. The topic of the video, or the title, if you will, a missile cruiser has crossed the Panama Canal. A U.S. guided missile cruiser has been spotted crossing the Panama Canal from the Pacific side into the Caribbean. This comes as Trump is deploying warships off of the Venezuelan coasts. AFP journalists saw the naval vessel pass through the canal at 9:30 p.m., heading towards the Atlantic. Many workers had no clue this ship was going to pass through, but DC is also accusing the Venezuelan president of running the drug cartel within the country. This entire situation is crazy, but unsurprisingly, it feels very hush-hush. I've been following the situation closely. There are American ships in Venezuelan waters, which I feel is definitely a threat. For a guy who says he doesn't want any more new wars, he really does seem to like them, whether that be the war in Yemen that he did, or and I believe that's also still going on, whether that be the strikes on, why am I blanking on the country? I don't want to say this wrong. Trump strikes. I don't know why I'm blanking on that. I just had a complete brain fart, and we're not going to get this wrong. On Iran, right? Yeah. Right? Yeah. Iran. Okay. My bad. I completely had a brain fart there. Whether that be the strikes on Iran, he really does seem to like these wars. Hey, that's how capitalists make money, but, that's why capitalism is such an awful thing. Anyways, moving on into our final topic tonight, California Highway Patrol is going to protect Kamala Harris going forward. The California Highway Patrol will be protecting Kamala Harris after Trump canceled her Secret Service protection. According to the LA Times, state officials have put in a plan to provide Harris with protection going forward. All Newsom needs to do is sign off, but his office did refuse to make any comments on the matter because they don't speak on security arrangements. Honestly, I don't think she needs this. As mentioned the other day, vice presidents lose security, like protection from the Secret Service, after 6 months. And it's well been past that now. She would have lost it in June. And honestly, all she's doing is promoting her book. So I don't really see it necessary. With that being said, though, thank you everyone for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. I got to really cut this off because I have an important phone call. So later.